I don't necessarily like agree with everything this dude says. I find him interesting. I find him to be a one of these enlightened centrist guys. He's always got like mad critiques about the left and right, but it's like he doesn't even have, I don't know, doesn't have any ideas of for himself. It seems like,
Right.
like that's what I hate about people that are like so-called in the center. It's like, what does that even mean? It's like you guys. He seems to always sit around and criticize like, oh, the left gets all crazy and they go too far, and the right goes all crazy and they go too far, and it's like, well, what is so great about the middle? Because I don't see that you guys are even fucking offering up
Well, they're even
anything
worse because
new,
they can't even make a decision
Well, that's what I'm
one way or
saying.
the
It's like,
other.
well,
They just kind of
they bitch about both sides. It's like, okay, well, what does that make you? It's like it
but
doesn't make you
I
any
would say
better.
like at this point it's like there's it's clearly like like it's deeper. It's not like even like a football game. Like there's like uh you know one political spectrum right now that's like completely out of control, and
Mm,
then the other side that's like just kind of like some bureaucrats and people
yeah.
who care about democracy. And like it's I don't know. It's not normal, dude. Like there's you could almost say like just because the left is not right about everything doesn't mean that they're not mostly right about most things, dude. Like there's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with, like with the Democratic Party, a lot of the corporatism and all, you know, the weakness, but like
Mm-hmm.
the overall policy and stuff, like, yeah, I think it doesn't go far enough, if anything, like, but it's not necessarily
Aber is a
bad. It's
disabled
just
Oh, sorry, buddy. Yeah.
they have no understanding on like how to message things. Like Republicans just scream shit and people listen to that because it's the loudest, Doesn't mean it's right. And obviously it doesn't even matter anymore. What do they call it? The post-truth era is what we're in right now.
Postmodern.
Yeah.
Postmodernism. Yeah.
It's whatever you say it is, So I guess
Well, it's like,
we're saying
well,
I'm saying it right now is we're right. They're wrong, like on most things. Like and I think I can make pretty good arguments on most of the policy and situations be like, yeah, this is, it's not working.
and as far as like the media landscape on the right, they always talk about how bad they're censored by all these, outlets and all this stuff. But if you look at like sort of the metrics of one, how many right-wing media outlets, platforms there's shit tons of them.
Right.
And then on top of that, the actual amount of like viewership on those. Now we could sort of dissect what that viewership demographics is, or if it's bots or whatever. But like, uh, they ain't being censored, man, because they typically are all up at the top. You've got a couple right
Well, they
wing
say they're
channels
being
and stuff.
censored while they're like doing a Fox hit, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. But
They're
if I'd
talking
be
about,
like the Daily Wire, there's like up on the top of the charts. Joe Rogan's up on the top of the charts. Uh,
yeah, he's number
a lot of
two,
yeah, a lot of
to
these
Midas Touch, and
yeah. So which I'm
like
I'm super.
Candace Owens like number three or some shit. I mean, like, come on, man. Like and they talk, like they have like all these networks, like the Turning Points USA. They've got the PragerU
Mm-hmm.
bullshit, and like, you know what I mean? Like
It's
all
endless,
these.
dude. It's endless.
Yeah, it's just endless streams of like where they've just slung a bunch of money at these like mediocre grifters, and they're like, hey, look, instead of being like a fake preacher or something, there's a lot of money doing this politics stuff, man. You just go out there, we'll give you the script on the talking points, and like you just go out and like repeat it, man.
But
Like that,
see,
and that's all they do.
And some of these fuckers, they don't even need the script. They're like self-appointed
Right.
guardians of their own fucking status quo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Exactly.
and actually, I was just about to get to this part. Uh, I don't know if you saw this part, but like Tim Miller here of the Bulwark calls out Dave Rubin about him taking lots of money from the Russians, essentially through tenant media. And he calls them out on it, and I fucking love it, dude, because it's like these clowns need to be called out on this shit. Like, you have got to be kidding me if you think that Dave Rubin didn't know he was getting money through the Russians through that tenant media group,
He
dude.
knew,
You
dude.
fucking kidding me?
Just like
Same with
Tim
Tim
Pool
Pool, dude.
knew,
Yeah,
and Joe
exactly.
Rogan, they all knew,
They
dude.
fucking, and if they didn't, they are fucking clowns that are just like little fucking leeches that just suckle on the teat of whatever money's flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But again, to my point, it's like the Russians didn't need to give Rubin the script. He's already saying the shit that's pretty much,
They just included a
sympathetic.
little more like, hey, Ukraine, Ukraine's a bunch of Nazis. Or, yeah, Zelensky, he's a bitch, man. He tried to get on my show to like say his side and like excuse me, give us his point of view. Fuck that, Joe Rogan. He's like, oh, yeah, fuck that.
Right.
Fuck Zelensky. It's like, dude, I bet he would have had Putin on. If Putin was like, hey, I'll come do your show, Joe. Joe'd be like, oh shit, a fucking leader of a whole country. How cool is that? Putin, man. And it's like, what? And then like him talking about Tim, and it's like, look, if you're doing it like if Donald Trump wanted to do our show, we'd have him on, bro, for sure. You know what I mean? To talk straight to the guy and be like, look, bro, we pretty much despise you here, but we're gonna give you a chance to fucking spew your lies, but just know we're gonna this is a dictatorship on this show. You're not in charge. So
Just for day one.
you will be fact checked.
Yeah, man.
We went through the tightest security of like the signal. We were on the signal and
we just jumped into it.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, that whole thing, by the way,
yes.
any normal like soldier, rank and file soldier that had committed a data breach of that magnitude, of that like sensitive of materials, and they want to talk about like Hillary's emails and shit, dude. Like any rank and file soldier that would have been dead had done that, he'd be like Snowden or something, Chelsea Manning. They'd lock that ass up in Leavenworth so tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like throw away the key, bro. The court martial. You know what I'm saying? Like, but with these guys, these fucking goofballs, these Fox hosts, and the Tulsi Gabbards, who was apparently a leftist at one point, and then no, wait, not really. Guess what? Hey, I'm MAGA. I'm super MAGA. Hey, wait a minute. Actually, I'm not MAGA. I'm gonna run
It's just
for
Dave Rubin.
president. But hey, now I lost. Hey, I'm MAGA again.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Just
All these,
whichever way the
all
wind
these
blows.
goons, dude.
Yeah.
All those. And you know what? I don't know if you watch or well, he's not on TV anymore, but he does his own podcast. Keith Olbermann. He used to
Mm-hmm.
be on NBC. He used to be NBC,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I always fucking loved him because I was like, you know what? I feel like he's telling the truth. Like he seems like he's pissed off, but because of like some of like because of the bull crap, you know what I mean? But like I've always like really appreciated it. I don't always agree with the guy, but he's been hitting like it's he's just been hitting some really good points lately, you know, and like what he was saying today was, and it makes a lot of sense, is that these guys were doing the strike on the Houthis. Trump had no fucking clue, according to him. Like, of course, you can't believe him, but he does legit seem like he has no fucking clue. He didn't know anything about the data breach. He didn't know anything about the strike. He's like, oh, the Houthi,
But
oh, yeah,
but
who, the blow,
that
the
doesn't make any
Houthis.
that doesn't make any sense because even in the text chain, Stephen Miller comes in and he
Right,
says
right.
Trump's down with all this. Like
Well,
Trump,
Trump said, I think, like if you look at it though, Trump said he wanted to make a statement, which I think is all that Trump said. Is Trump said, I want to make a statement, and Stephen Miller then was like, no, I can just see his old ghoulish, fucking flabby face, like, you know, no, the president said, green light, we're going to drop the bombs, god damn it. I don't care who or what, we're going to do it, and we're going to get some money out of Europe because they're freeloaders. And then Hog's Breath's like, yeah, I can't stand them freeloading Europeans or whatever. And it's like, what the fuck? It's just, fire emoji.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah, fire emoji,
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't, dude. Trump is not there, man. Like he's gone.
Well, I
He's
know,
been
but
gone, man. Like, oh,
well,
he. I don't think he even gives a shit about anything that's going on in the White House. Like he's golfing.
of course.
He's going to NASCAR events or
But Musk
Super
and Stephen
Bowl.
Miller and
Yeah,
other
dude. Well,
people are running this shit.
that's what
So
Keith Olbermann is saying. He's like,
yeah,
that's why Trump had no fucking clue about the leak. Because Trump wasn't in on any of that. He was not included on the chain. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense.
right.
If he's not included, like, he's cut out. They were making the decisions through Stephen Miller proxy. Well, is he in the room with Trump? No, it sounds like Trump said. He's like the Hooties, like the blowfish. He's waiting for the blowfish to walk in and start
Right.
playing
Yeah.
some music or whatever. He was like,
Have
"Oh
a
wait, yeah, yeah,
spoon.
the Houthis, yeah, yeah."
Oh
So
yeah,
what
yeah.
happened? And they're like,
Say again.
"You know what I'm saying?" That's like,
What?
dude, you're the president. Your government just got caught in a big fuck up, and you're like, "Who's a what's it? I don't
Yeah,
even know
like
what you're talking about. What?
say it
How do
again,
you
there,
not
Sonny.
know? How do you not know?"
Yeah, no,
Because
he's
he
fucking.
doesn't. He
He's
doesn't know
he's
shit,
like
man.
almost
He's
80
like,
or
I'm not
something.
going to jail. I'm good to go now. I made a whole bunch of money off these fucking billionaires. Now I'm a big time billionaire too. And I can leave my secret love, Ivanka, all the money when I'm done.
Oh, damn! I will marry her one day.
Yuck.
Or check. He's gonna
Yes,
change.
I wasn't her father.
He's
I might
gonna
be dating her.
he's gonna write an executive
Nasty.
order. Fathers are now allowed to marry their daughters. I always wanted to do this by executive order.
Sorry.
Oh,
I plug in my phone and the light goes out. Oh, wait. So yeah, folks. I mean, just the sheer incompetence, the way they got played, the incompetence and the way they got played by that reporter too. Like he was like, "Hey, yeah, they text me all these war plans at Signal," and they're like Hexath, and everybody's like, "No, yeah, there was nothing classified in there." knowing damn well almost all that shit was classified. Everything was in there was classified, dude. Like that breaks so many fucking laws. Like they're guilty of like espionage and shit, dude. And especially if they were doing this shit like without Trump's specific, but not even that. It's like they're also like usurping war powers from Congress. Not that I expect the Republican Congress to do a fucking thing about it because
Right. Well,
they're
I mean, I don't think Congress has really enacted war, but I mean,
not since like the Iraq stuff
I don't
and
even,
the Patriot.
was it even in that?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was? I
yeah.
guess so.
Oh yeah. That's what Colin Powell went to Congress
Okay.
and lied. Remember, he lied
About
to
the
the WMDs and the
movies, yeah.
imminent threat, and oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday, brother.
Yeah. But I mean, essentially from then on, I don't think congressional approval has been done on any
They
like
don't, it's
war
almost like they
strikes
don't
or
need it anymore because they just designate whoever they're trying to go after as
terrorists.
a terrorist,
Right.
and then you can
Just do
do
whatever.
whatever because we've never stopped the war on terror. Terror
Yeah.
continues.
Yeah.
Nice little loophole there. That's why we've had the drone war and
Well, it's the shit that
you
we were
know,
saying back then when they were passing the Patriot Act and all that shit. Was like,
is
well,
this is the outcome.
yeah,
Yep,
where does it stop? Because anything can be
exactly.
labeled as terrorism. I mean, fuck, they're trying to label, people vandalizing cars as terrorism.
Just protesting.
So here
I
we
mean, they
are, you know.
disappeared that guy that was just protesting Palestine or for Palestine. Like
Yeah.
it's just crazy, dude. Like threatening schools to cut off funding until they capitulate and like enact all these draconian like. It's like, why are you meddling with like schools and shit like that? Individual schools, like what the fuck? Like that's some serious like breach
It's just corruption, man.
of like the law, bro. Breach of the law. Because that's like I mean, okay. So Doge, anybody that's like says, "Hey, I'm part of Doge. I need to come into your house and start checking out your papers. Like, how do I know you own this house? For government efficiency, we've got to find out. Like we need
Mm-hmm.
to see all your paperwork. So get any deeds on the house, all your insurance, this all everything.
Right.
Do you pay the electrical? It's like what the fuck? Who are you again? Like that's going on right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
um what was it? It was like an independent like department for like peace. Like they just like tried to intervene with things before they became hot, like tried to stop, wars. Pretty good goal. They were created by Congress, but they are not a part of the government, the federal government. They just were created by Congress, spun off. Now they're their own thing. They own their own property. They're not part of the fucking government. Doge went there and took that fucking place over, man.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah,
They
I
went and
saw that.
took the fucking place over, kicked all the people out, took them all off their systems, shut them the fuck down. Like how is that any different than them like just showing up to your house? They're disappearing people off the streets.
Right.
They're just showing up, throw a motherfucker in the van, off you go to who knows where, El Salvador, whatever other you know hellhole they can find for you to.
Yeah.
People guilty of having tattoos
Mm,
Not gang tattoos, just having some tattoos. Hey, you're a
are
brown guy, and you got tattoos on you. You must be in a gang. It's like sometimes it's really easy to tell, like when someone's in a gang, because they'll have like a big M and a 13 like on their chest. You know what I mean? And like a bunch of gang tattoos, specifically like throwing up their sets and shit. Whereas like someone having like, I don't know, a couple like dragons flying around on their back, or like a big cross because their mom died and it's got like, love your mom on it, and they're like, oh, this guy is Trende de Ragua.
are there
He's
are
part of
there
the Mama gang.
are
you
there any
know?
like are there any scenarios where there could be like a person that has gang tattoos that's not in a
No
gang,
longer in a gang. Right.
that
Right.
just like doesn't have the ability to like get them removed just yet, like. But
Right.
that's part of the issue here is there's no motherfucking due process on this shit, dude.
Nope.
It's just like you're gone
They've stripped people. Look,
because
they're stripping people of their rights, and it's like any people losing their fucking rights in our country is
we all do.
beyond the slippery slope. We've done slipped down the slope.
Yeah, dude.
The slippery slope is not real anymore. That's gone. Like we've already slid all the way down the fucking mountain. We're at the bottom.
Right, we're in the muck and the fucking
Now we're
at
in
the
the muck.
bottom of the swamp,
Yeah.
dude. Like the
Yeah.
swamp is here. We all up in the swamp right now.
The Republicans invited the swamp. Not, you know what? And the
They are the
Republicans
swamp.
invited it. Yes.
They're fucking.
MAGA's like the foot soldiers. They're the mindless drones of the higher organization, the higher organism. The so-called brains are not the politician or even the fucking people in the media. The brains are the people with the money, because they're the ones directing all these goofballs, to do the same thing. I mean, how do you know that they're paid to do? It's because they all say the same shit, the exact same shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like that on the left. Yeah, you can see which ones are the corporate ones. You got your Schumers, your Pelosi's, your Jeffries. Basically the leadership for the most part, pretty corporate, right? Pretty moderate. And usually they're the weakest ones, or they're the ones that'll turn around and fucking stab you in the back. You know what I
Schumer.
mean? And vote to
Schumer.
censure your ass, Jared Moskowitz or
Right.
Dick Durbin, or
Right. Any of the other eight.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But like, they're not all drones on the left. We have some bright spots. We have some real talent. We just got to get rid of these fucking pieces of shit. That we've gotten
Well,
stuck with.
the Democrat Party needs to, in my estimation, just move towards the Bernie wing.
It
That's,
needs to
I
go
mean,
progressive. It
yeah.
needed to go progressive fucking 10, 15 years ago.
We need an opposite and
Yeah.
equal reaction to the flood the zone
And the
from the
fascism.
right. Yeah, it's like
Yep.
it needs to. Tim Walz said it really well the other day. It's like we don't need to. No longer do we need to be tinkering around the edges, dude. We need. People are going to expect universal health care. They're going to want the things that like the rest of the developed world seems to have figured out how to make it happen, but we can't.
People are tired of incrementalism, I think
Yeah,
is what they've been.
yeah.
We're gonna piecemeal. Well, guess what? Piecemeal just leads to dysfunction. You just gotta go ahead and fucking do it. And then, you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can. I mean, we've had how many fucking decades? We know, like, we have models from other countries. We understand how fucking healthcare works. We all know what the problem is. It doesn't, I mean, everybody knows what the problem is. It's the fucking, the insurance companies, man.
Hmm.
It's this, like, the way our society really should be structured is like, we need capitalism as a way of like a motivation and like a reward structure to incentivize like work and things getting done, right? But we also need like socialized things where like profit needs to be removed from the equation, from like like prisons don't need to be monetized.
Right.
Schools don't need to be monetized. Healthcare does not, especially healthcare, does not need to be monetized, dude.
I would
Like,
argue if there was
there's,
one thing, if there was a fucking one fucking thing that we would definitely not want to monetize, it would definitely be healthcare.
yeah, it's like, why are we putting an incentive structure in where it's like, if you have enough money, you get to live, or you have a better fucking chance of living, or better outcomes, and it's like,
Hmm.
we know that like people who have means live longer. They'll be living to like past their social security time, fucking 120 and shit. Like that shit happens all the time now. When we were young, that was unheard of, bro. People weren't living to 120 or 115. Like fucking, like if you hit 100, you were
I was
like,
like, whoa,
whoa, yeah. It was like,
whoa.
whoa. But now it's like, people are living extremely long or whatever, but like those people were, you know, living in a certain, like, not, that's anecdotal or whatever, but nonetheless, people who have a lower socioeconomic standing, lower class, they lived like 20 years less or more, with
Right.
worse health outcomes, and it's like,
Oh no!
how we don't equalize that.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
where everybody gets, they're like, oh, why is, I don't want the same outcome. Well, why not? Why can't we all have the same outcome when the outcome is we get the best quality health insurance or the best quality health care, not fucking insurance, fuck insurance.
Yeah.
And I
Um,
mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And that's why, like you're saying, if the party does not embrace this stuff, they're going to continue to lose, man.
well, I'll tell you
This
what.
is
I
what
mean,
people want.
I um might have a hard time like sort of donating to and getting behind the Democratic Party any longer if they're not willing to fucking embrace what clearly, I mean, like you look at these rallies that Bernie and AOC are kind of pulling together right now. These people,
Yep.
they're, well, what I've said before is like, look at what happened with the Republican Party, man. You had the Tea Party and shit came up. There was all kinds of different little pockets of different sects, like the Tea Party, and you got your Libertarian crew. Like they all sort of coalesced into the Republican Party, but like they moved with it. They tried to not let Trump come in and take it away with the base, because obviously the base wanted Trump, and they did their damnedest. Like you remember, you see now the footage of Rubio and Jeb and all of them,
Lindsey
and
Graham
they
and all
all
of
were
them,
going to
dude.
town on him for the longest time.
Dogging him.
But then they
His own vice president,
finally,
J.D. Vance, called him as America's Hitler.
right, but they finally realized that like the base The base was swinging away from the established rhinos. And they went with it, dude. And look at them. They're winning. They're winning.
Well, they realized that, like, essentially Trump is like their donkey, right? They just needed somebody to blow up. It could have been Rubio, who fucking, he could have been not as mediocre, and like fumbling his water or whatever the fuck it was, and Trump calling him Little Marco. He could have called him, hey, Hefty Don. Or something, you know what I mean? Meatball Don or whatever. Fucking call him a name, dude. Like, but, they didn't have the spine, dude. And, like, Trump doesn't have the spine either. But he's built his whole thing, like, his whole, like, psychosis and everything just, like, reinforces his, like, look, I'm never wrong and I'm the best. And he knows he's the, it doesn't matter what he knows. Like, he knows long. He's deluded. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what he thinks he knows. But, like, that helps him. Because, like, everybody else has, like, some doubt, which actually hinders them because they're like, oh, man, maybe I'm not as strong as Donald. Where, like, Donald is, like, the ultimate coward, but he just bulldozes ahead, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. That's why they call him Teflon Don. It's not because shit doesn't stick to him. It's he just bulldozes through because he's so fucking dumb.
Right.
And like he's like almost like not burdened by like complex thought. He's just like a frog where they're just like, oh, I saw something wiggle, eat. He's kind of like the same thing. Oh, if you hit me, I hit you back.
I went to an Ivy League school. I'm very highly educated.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, he has an advantage over all these spineless politicians.
Well, he just gets to talking, and he just, like, he has whatever it is in his mind, and he just, like, hammers it home. Like, he don't let up, he don't give a fuck. If whatever you say, you're just gonna keep on with it. Even if he agrees with you, he'll find some way to just kind of make it seem like he's still disagreeing with you. Like, I mean, how many times have you seen him do that shit, dude? Or how you've seen him, like, give answers where, like, he pretty much takes all the positions. So it's like, you just kind of...
How do you form an argument against every position? He's like, we don't have to list. There's so many. There's 30, 40,000 examples out there. Look them up. Do you have research?
but essentially he's...
Oh, God, you're such a smug prick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, man.
Fucking Pac-Man.
Fucking A, man. Let's, I want to look at this with you right here, because I thought this was funny to watch Dave Rubin kind of squirm over this, getting called out, taking that Russian money. It was kind of fun. It was brought up over the question
by Pierce? Okay.
It was brought up kind of over the question of Jasmine Crockett's comment about
Hot Wheels.
Aboot.
The Hot Wheels comment.
Greg Aboot. Aboot.
Oh, yeah.
But Dave was clutching his pearls, and Tim Miller calls him out here. So let's give it a watch and see.
Saying, I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors, deliberately stoking tension and fear among the most vulnerable. Literally, the next line I said was he was a hot A mess, referencing his terrible policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition. So I'm even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those with disabilities, are now outraged. Now, Tim, you're an intelligent human being. You're a fair-minded human being.
Am I?
She's talking utter bullshit, isn't she?
The statement was not necessary or great and obviously untrue. I don't
I think she should have just wrote it out with the joke. Everybody can make a judgment about whether they appreciate a joke at Craig Abbott's expense. I find it hard to imagine that my co-panelists from MAGA World are going to start clutching their pearls over somebody making a mean joke at somebody. Then that's like the core to the President of the United States' entire ethos.
You guys who get outraged over jokes.
That's
Whatever, Dave.
The difference is that we are not the people who get outraged over every joke and every word and every sort of innuendo. It's you guys who do.
Well, so good.
So I'm not outraged at the joke. I'm outraged at the fact that a human rights campaign fundraiser where it's about all the marginalized people and the perceived oppression of the trans people and everything else, that there she's making a joke about disabled people and they're laughing about it. I'm not outraged at the joke. I make far worse jokes than that on my show every single day.
Okay, then.
I mean,
so we're slicing it kind of thin there. So we're going to pretend to be outraged about her joke when the President of the United States Court Brand is making these sort of jokes. So I wouldn't, if I was her, I wouldn't have put out the statement afterwards. If it's me, you know, I don't know. I think that Dave's kind of business model over there. You know, I don't take money from any Russian assets. Like, that's just me. So I'm able to just kind of say what I really think on here with Dave. You never know. So I understand why he might not. You know, he might want to pick his spots.
All right, well, let me bring in...
That's some great work you're doing at Bulwark. A real solid place of journalism over there.
Well, we haven't taken any money from the Russians at the Bulwark, Piers. I don't know if you know this, but Dave took $400,000 per month from a Russian information operation. And so you'd understand why.
And what was the name of the show that I did for the Russians? Tell me that.
Right now is just handing things over to the Russians, that he has to pretend to be outraged about things. You know, just you don't know who's paying the bill.
What was the name of the show I did?
He keeps saying, like, what was the name of the show that I did for the Russians? It's like, dude, your show. Your fucking show, dude. Like, what are you talking about, man? What was the guy's name that you took the money from, Dave? Edward Gregorian? Right?
They were all glazing for fucking Russia, dude. And you could tell when they got that injection of fucking Russian money, dude. Because then they all were like, Joe Rogan went from like, yeah, you know, Russia invaded Ukraine to like, well, you know, maybe that Zelensky's a bit of a fucking Nazi, man, you know. Like, Tim Pool's like, you know, Ukraine should apologize and just give all their fucking land to Russia, you know, or whatever. You know, I mean, they just started.
Tim Pool started. I think he even mentioned around that time when he started doing that. Like, you know, he built this big compound and shit, like sushi. They eat sushi all the fucking time, and you know,
skateboard park. And
skateboard park at his compound. It's like, you fuck
compound. You. He calls his place a compound, you know. It's like, what are you, fucking like a cultist?
It's like, have you ever taken off that stupid fucking beanie? You stupid fucking
for the Russians, champ.
If you took it off, he would look his age. He's trying to like act like, you know, like all these goofballs, like when they go to like the colleges and they're like debating, you know, like in the Charlie Kirks and shit, and they go talk to like college kids and stuff, and it's like, look, you know, yes, I'm not saying like those college kids aren't smart, but they're also like untested, you know what I mean? Like they haven't really been out up in the world, you know, doing worldly thing, you know, not everybody, you know, obviously
they're just students, man. They're
you know what I'm saying, like they're still kids, you know what I mean, to a certain point, on a certain level, you know. And it's like you got this guy, like, and then like Charlie Kirk comes to your university and he's like, hey, you know, I challenge you to, you know, debate, and then he gets fucking owned, but then like, you know, or he like, you know, is able to like do his talking point bonanza and whatever, and like kind of like get these kids caught up like in some shit because they're not used to people being disingenuous on a certain level, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Well, and we don't even know, honestly, some of whatever might be edited. Like, they might have someone that sits down and gives them a run for their money on some topic.
But they always, like, you see the videos they do, and, like, dumb liberal kid gets smacked down by Charlie Kirk, on his own turf. Like, I owned your ass.
Like, whatever.
But it's just part of that. It's just part of that whole, the right-wing media sphere, dude. Like, they have, we have like stuff like this. We've got the Midas touch. Thank goodness, they're doing, like, hopefully, they're not getting infiltrated by, big green tea or something, But I don't know.
Look, man. Look.
We need more of that.
The whole media landscape. Like, I see people talking about, like this guy I was watching earlier talking about news outlets shouldn't have agendas or viewpoints. It should be neutral. And it's like, look, dude, that's unrealistic, man. People are always going to have agendas. They're always going to have worldviews that they're trying to push forth and convince people that whatever, right? We're all doing that. What is important, what is necessary, is that you have people, your society, the electorate, is smart enough and literate enough in media consumption to understand that, like, I can watch Midas Touch Network and understand that they've got a particular viewpoint and they're trying to do the thing. I can watch David Pakman. He's got a particular commentary, opinion, a viewpoint, an agenda. I can watch Fox News and I can see that. Like, it is critical that people understand that when they consume media, political media, everybody's got something they're trying to push forth. You need to be
we're pushing
educated.
Something right now.
Dude, everybody is. What is important is you have to be educated enough to sort of sift through it. Like, and weed out the shit that just doesn't make any sense or whatever. It's not backed by facts or whatever. If you need to understand when something is presented to you as commentary or opinion versus, like, these are the facts of this situation, whatever. Like,
yes, but it's like hard to. It's hard for us on a certain degree because it's like we exist in a facts-based reality. In the postmodern thinking, like, facts are inconvenient truths, not like just the truth. They're inconvenient because it's like it gets in the way of me saying whatever I need to say to you to get you to agree with me. And all I need is your agreement en masse as a whole through this voting thing, and then boom, But now I was watching Secular Talk earlier. Homie was talking about how they're trying to basically just disenfranchise millions and millions of, like, voters and be like, change voting laws, because who's going to stop them? You know what I mean? Mike Johnson was saying that he's considering shutting down specific district courts. And he can because they control their funding. So he could, like, defund whole districts, like the New York district, gone. California district, gone.
Yeah, well, he can say that. He can talk that. But let's see what he actually does, because I'm telling you right the fuck now, dude, you get rid of a whole fucking districts of courts, federal courts and shit, dude, you're going to have a lot of lawlessness happening.
Exactly. We already have the lawlessness. The people just haven't caught on that the laws are not really in fucking force right now because, yes, our police out policing, yes, district attorney, yeah. Well, they're all doing that, but, like, we have maniacs in charge. Like, the DOJ is being, like, rooted out, like, all the departments... why do you? This is interesting. To me, and I think it might be interesting to you. But why do you think they're getting rid of all the veterans? If you were trying to take over government, who the fuck do you want to get out of government before you do it? All the people that have fought.
For
the fucking, you know what I mean? For the country.
Well, and the other
you want them gone, man.
The other thing to think about, too, is I don't think, like, on a technical level, when you're enlisted in the military, you can't really speak about political matters, per se. But veterans that are out can kind of speak more to it and not, like, be sort of reprimanded. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't be reprimanded. They're out. So,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like, that, to your point, that would be another reason from like a speech perspective.
You do have rights as a soldier, though. Like, if you're given an illegal order, you can refuse it.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, I'm a conscientious objector, and I refuse this order on the grounds that I think it's illegal. And then you will suffer the consequences, whatever. But just remember that, fellow. Soldiers, like, you don't have to follow an illegal order. I know that's a little heavy, but yeah, we're getting there.
Well, let's see
some high level ideas from Dave.
Let's get some levity here and see just. So I was listening to him talk while I was working earlier today, like thinking about the show tonight and listening to this clown talk. And it kind of reminded me of like something I used to watch as a kid. His voice reminds me of like Bullwinkle or Rocky or Bullwinkle. You look like do you know what I'm saying?
It's Bullwinkle, yeah.
Bullwinkle, yeah.
No.
I need to pull up some Bullwinkle while we're listening to him and see if I can get
no!
Oh no!
Oh shit!
I have to know.
I have to know. You have to do. You beat me to it, bro.
Oh man! But
oh god, you're such a smug prick.
It was Tenet Media that paid you. Tenet Media that paid you. Is that right? $400,000 per month and a $100,000 signing bonus. That not you?
Yeah, you just literally don't know what you're talking about. Which is standard. You work for MSNBC and the Bulwark. It's impressive.
Oh no!
All right, so that wasn't you then. You weren't commentator one in that indictment there, Dave? That wasn't you?
Look at Pierce. He's like...
Yeah, I was commentator one. It was nice to read something honest about me that I did all my due diligence trying to figure out what was going on over there. What was the name of the show? Tell me about the propaganda I put out there.
Well, it was the Tenet Media that was paying you. Tenet Media was a Russian.
What was the name of the show?
An RT cutout.
Yeah,
dude, it was a Russian cutout. An RT cutout. They were paying you. I've never been paid by a Russian cutout, so I don't exactly know how it all works.
You're paid by MSNBC, which is state-owned propaganda. You're paid by the Bulwark, which should be just called bullshit. That would be a better name of the network. Whatever the hell it is you people are doing.
Could I jump in on
what was the name of the show that I did? What was the name? You don't know.
You don't know
because you don't know what you're saying.
Let me wrestle things back. Time out. Let's wrestle things back to the actual.
I'd rather talk about Jasmine Crockett's eyelashes.
Let's talk about Jasmine Crockett. I want to bring in Jake here. I mean, Jake, presumably you would condemn both the joke and the statement that was obviously a pack of lies.
Yeah, Piers.
Oh no!
I love So let's check this out because I wanna get a little taste of this.
Oh, Dave, he's one of those. He's one of those guys, man.
He's so high level.
He's so, dude. He's one of the like the prime examples of how easy it is to grift on the right, dude. Like he's so bad at this. He really is. Like right there, he's really bad. He's like, oh, tell me what show was it I was doing the Russian? It's like it was the Rubin Report.
Yeah,
your show.
Like, are you?
High level idea.
Yeah.
Can't compute.
Well, or like, what's his dumbass name? Stephen Crowder, when he was in that deposition, and the lawyer asked him if he was the owner or the manager of the show, and he's like, well,
I'd have to find out.
I guess. Like, how do you not know if you're the fucking goddamn owner of the show, you fucking idiot?
It's Gus. It's Daddy. It's a Daddy show.
Let's check it out.
Dave Rubin.
Our story opens the faced with a serious problem. We already heard that shift in but last measures of intelligence know the
Nazis.
The machine worked. Oh, because you worked by getting money from the United States. And how? One, that's a refreshing change. What is it?
Oh, this stuff is pretty heavy.
And?
I'm afraid the whole island of Mosylvania is sinking.
Yes, our friends were up to their knees in trouble.
And water.
Well, let's look on the bright side.
What's that?
The mosquitoes can't bite our ankles anymore. Well, our...
Sounds like Rubin.
It does sound, dude. It sounds just like
Oh, God, you're such a
don't play no
smug
more.
prick.
We'll get a copyright strike from that shit for show or something.
Jesus.
I don't know. That shit's like 80,000 years old, though.
Yeah, surely it's got to be open for free.
I mean, Dave Rubin's been doing a Bullwinkle impression this whole time.
What was the show that I was doing?
Where did I get the 400,000 from a month?
You tell me, Tim.
Tenant.
Yeah, it's like you know exactly what we're fucking talking about here, you clown.
Oh, no!
You know, honestly,
I need to know if someone is gay.
I don't care that Jasmine Crockett called him fucking Hot Wheels. He's a fucking douchebag, and he's like doing horrible things to like women in Texas. Fuck Greg Abbott, man. Like, I don't care. Fucking call me an ableist. You know what? I'm talking about him. I don't give a shit that he's in a wheelchair. Sorry for him. You know. I don't care. He's doing horrible things to people. Fuck that guy.
I'm just tired of like this whole
fake outrage bullshit, dude.
It's like, you motherfuckers, dude. Like, it was in 2015 or 16 that Trump stood up there and it was like,
yeah, doing mocking a disabled person. Same thing, and they were all like, yeah. Fuck that disabled guy.
Fuck you.
Well, this is the same thing, man. It's like, look, that disabled guy, like,
I'm over it.
We tried to have his back, man, but you know, it's like, but look, you know, we're fighting a different kind of disabled guy. Trump's definitely
right. Look, to be
we're all
fair,
ableist, dude. Like, look at Joe Biden. Like, I'm sorry, Joe. You know, like, look, you should have ran. And I'm sorry your son died. It was very bad timing, but like, you should have fucking ran right after Obama.
Look, I pretty much agree with Tim on that, though. I'm pretty much like,
no more beating around the edge.
It's just like, I'm not taking this fake outrage from you fucking clowns about this shit.
From
like,
weirdos.
Trump said to a woman one time, because she asked him a question he didn't like, that she was bleeding out of her wherever.
Yeah, Megan.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
fuck off talking about, like, you're going to get outraged about a wheelchair.
She's got attitude because it must be that time of the month. Am I right? Am I right, audience? The women, they really get all lippy when they're in their times. It's like, you fucking...
spare me.
What a piece...
Spare me.
Yeah. That's just how base that guy is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's
just... he's just
not
boring.
the newfangled, like, I mean, like, you know, base, like, you know, he's like an acid or a base. You know what I mean? Like, he's so bland. He's really unexceptional. The only thing he's got going for him is he's just, like, belligerent. And that's what his people like, is the belligerence. I 100% believe that Elon, all these people are just doing whatever they want, and it's like, you know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, we've got demented Don who doesn't know shit. We'll bring him a cheeseburger and be like, hey man, sign this paper real quick. It's another fantastic, you know, big, powerful executive order. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stephen Miller's over there left and right with all the fucking, you know, all these executive orders. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, sign this for me, Donnie. I think we've got a Weekend at Bernie's situation going on. And, like, Don's just like, look, Elon, all you guys just take care of business while Daddy's gone, all right?
Yeah,
We'll go play 18 down in Mar-a-Lago. And I'm going to bang some guy's wife. And then I'll be back for dinner. And we'll sign some more big, beautiful plans. Try not to leak any more war documents and stuff while I'm gone.
Man. Also,
if Melania calls, you don't know where I'm at.
Also, I want to remind people too, because all this, I was hearing a lot of talk about tariffs and trade wars and how bad we're getting fucked. Oh, it was spurred on by the UAW leader Fain, the guy that was running around calling Trump a scab and shit during the campaign.
Right.
He's kind of like, sort of like talking up the tariffs at this point, and like talking about how like we're in a triage period of like bringing back all these jobs and these manufacturing and all this stuff, and it's like,
yeah.
So anyway,
dude, those guys really flip-flopping so hard, dude.
Well, I think they're just capitulating here to him or something. I don't really even know why. I mean, I can guess.
I think the reason that he's having to do it is because of his members. They're Trumpers, man.
Well,
who's anti-union, but whatever. It's besides the point.
But here's the problem with all of it. The trade agreement that they are bitching about, that they don't like, was signed by Donald Trump. Like, he literally went on and on and on about how fantastic it was, how just absolutely great it is. Like, matter of fact, let's just reminisce on some of it, shall we?
Fantastic. They are fantastic, and we appreciate it very much. You've done a great job. Getting good credits for what you're doing, and we really appreciate it. Really fantastic. After NAFTA's adoption more than 25 years ago, the United States lost nearly 1/4 of all of its manufacturing jobs, including more than 1 in 5 vehicle manufacturing jobs. Think of that. 1 in 5 jobs lost so needlessly. Thousands of factories were shuttered. Millions of manufacturing jobs were destroyed. And entire communities were devastated, from Ohio to Pennsylvania, Michigan to Maine, and California to North Carolina, devastated. 2 decades of politicians ran for office vowing to replace the NAFTA, and this was a catastrophe, the NAFTA catastrophe.
The NAFTA.
Yet once elected, they never even tried.
Just to remind folks, right?
They never even gave.
So NAFTA was the situation Trump came in, got together with Canada and Mexico, and signed the USMCA trade agreement. That's the agreement that he is bitching about right now, complaining about. And Sean Fain is sort of like getting behind tariffs about this agreement. This motherfucking agreement, dude. And again, let's listen to what he says about it.
They sold out. But I'm not like those other politicians, I guess in many ways. I keep my promises, and I'm fighting for the American worker. And we're all fighting for the American worker. Everybody here is fighting for the American worker. This agreement is a tremendous breakthrough for American agriculture. Canada will finally provide great...
So the USMCA that he signed is excellent for agriculture, is what he just said. But now he wants you to believe it's the opposite, that it's horrible.
But when he did that, he fucked the farmers over so badly. I think there was like 10,000 farmers lost their farms because of how much damage he cut off. Like basically trade to the like here in the Midwest, man, they grow so many soybeans because they would sell them to fucking China, and they make, guess what, tofu and all kinds of shit from soybeans, you know, and oil and yada yada. And that was our number one, you know, trading, the buyer of soybean was China. So all these farmers got kicked out of their number one market and then had to fucking scramble around for other places to sell soybean. Well, guess what? Brazil and other fucking countries were like, hey, we grow fucking soybean. We can grow all kinds of soybean. And they started selling it to China. And now, and then, you know how I'm talking about these fucking farmers in all of our shows and shit. We subsidize farms now because of the USMCA, because he fucked the farmers over so badly with his changes. That they have to literally subsidize every fucking farm out there.
I think during his first term, he gave the farmers like some $25 billion because of all of his nonsense that he was doing. So,
because he crippled their their fucking business.
But again, like he is the guy that signed off on all of these agreements. Like he could have, at this point, right here, when this shit's going down, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they had all three branches, same as what they got now. They got the House, they had the Senate, they had the executive. They could have totally changed all these agreements. They could have done all this shit back then. And think to yourself that this is the agreement he signed off on that was supposed to bring all this shit back, right? It was supposed to, like,
and it didn't.
Yeah, why are we having the discussion right now then? And don't give me the nonsense of like, well, Joe Biden did this. The agreement is still this agreement.
It's the same old playbook. They fucking broke shit that wasn't broken. They broke it, and then they're like, see, these fucking Democrats, I fucked up the economy last time, and they really took so damn long to get the fucking economy popping again, so I could walk in here and just start fucking shit up all over again. And that's what they do every time. They come in, the Republicans, they come in, right after Obama, think about that, fucking right after Clinton. Economy's booming. What do? They fucking give all these rich fucking assholes a big ass tax cut for 10 years, 15 years, whatever. Long enough to ride out another Democratic administration, if that happens, and then boom, more tax cuts. Hey, let's renew those. We all know how to fix government. Like, none of this is mystifying. Like, we tax the fucking piss out of these rich motherfuckers. We make common sense like policy decisions, pass fucking common sense laws. We make things like fair for people. We shrink the class divide. We make a middle class so big that there doesn't even seem like there's a low class because everybody's just able to be taken care of. And we have more than enough money. We just got to recoup it from all these leeches, dude. These lottery winners, these genetic lottery winners who get a small, I got a small loan from my dad of $432 million.
Right.
I barely, I bootstrapped my shit all the way up to the top, and, you know what I mean? Or my dad owned a fucking emerald mine in South Africa.
Right. Really,
we had black
really
people
been struggling.
For us.
Yeah, really struggled in my childhood. Hey, look at this! Look at this guy that they wanted to hang. Remember that guy? Where's he been?
Just run out and noose him up right there, dude.
Okay, let's just get a little more taste of what he thought about his own agreement now that he thinks it sucks.
Greater access for American dairy. Canada's opening up. It will grow annual exports to our neighbors by an estimated $315 million. Poultry exports to Canada are expected to rise by at least 50%, and egg export could increase by 500%. Where is the Canadian folks? Where are they?
Oh.
You guys did a good job on us before this deal, I'll tell you.
Oh.
Canada was very tough.
He did a good job. They did a good job.
So we appreciate it.
Hey, we're friends.
Very importantly, Canada will finally give fair treatment to American-grown wheat. The USMCA is also a massive win for American manufacturers and auto workers. Under NAFTA, companies were given huge incentives to...
So it was a huge win for manufacturing, yet it didn't seem to bring any of it back? What?
It fucked up the farming, all the agriculture. And apparently the trade deal's so bad that Trump has to do this giant trade war and put all these tariffs on the products. He was saying before that was amazing that we were going to increase all this. We're going to do even more trade. And then he's so wherever the wind blows, dude. Someone taught him the word tariff, and he's like, I fucking understand what tariff is now. So it's a big, beautiful word, tariff. We're gonna tariff everybody. Nobody heard of tariff
before me.
Trump.
I made the word up. Yeah.
The guy is he's almost wind me up like one of them fucking monkeys with the cymbals. You wind them up and then
it just goes on.
He's real dumb, dude, but he's really good at repeating.
Yeah, just droning on
stuff. Yeah. Yep.
To produce cars in foreign countries and ship them to America tax-free. No tax, no nothing. We lost our jobs, we closed our factories, and other countries built our cars. But we've changed that, and we're now setting records. The USMCA closes these terrible loopholes and includes strong provisions to ensure that new cars are fashioned by American hands. That's a fancy word of saying built and manufactured.
A whole sentence is a fancy word. Do you remember...
Manufactured, that's a fancy word for saying built and manufactured.
Signal?
Did you know people weren't saying manufacturing before I came along?
Signal?
They just were calling it building stuff, but I was like, let's call it manufacturing. And you know what? I'll even go one more step. Hold on.
Hands.
Let's call it building and manufacturing.
With hands. Yeah.
Fashioned by the hands of an American.
Sir, can we get your comment on the Signal controversy? Signal?
I've never heard of him.
Never heard of her. I've never heard of her.
Are you talking like E.T.?
Sounds nice.
Home,
sounds like good communication, but I've never heard of her.
Sounds like a nice lady, but I never touched her.
But that reporter,
Signal.
That reporter is just trash, though. That reporter.
Oh, I heard about him. Yeah, fake news.
He's a real.
All I heard that he's a real hack. He's a hack.
But Signal, never heard of her. Don't know her.
I bet she's a 6, but, now looking at her and all the controversy, I'm going to have to say she's a dog. All right, she's a 2. She's a Rosie O'Donnell. I don't call women pigs, except for Rosie O'Donnell.
I wouldn't fuck her.
Only because it's true. That's what he said.
I wouldn't touch her with Epstein's dick. Ooh.
I wonder how many times he's touched things with. No, let's not go there. Anyways.
American labor. We have some of the great labor leaders here right now.
This guy's never labored once in his life. The hardest labor he's done is before he flushes 10 to 15 times, dude.
Right. Yeah, fuck this guy.
I'm really having a hard time passing this hamburger.
Do you remember when he would give these crazy deals in his first election, where he would just like name people? He'd be like, "Where's Marco?" He's like, "Marco's here. You're doing a good job, Marco." And then he'd be like, "Where's Ashley at?" And it would just be like 30 minutes of him just
Where's my Chuck at? Where's Chuck? Yep. Hey, where's Mike Johnson at? Oh, there's MAGA Mike. Yeah, good old MAGA Mike. We love Mike.
Yeah, he's been busy. Always one of the busiest, man. He's where's Lindsey Graham? Where's Grandma? He does good stuff. He's out giving interviews. But just like,
dude, I really hope like when Trump, eventually meets the Sandman, or the guy in the cape or whatever.
mm-hmm.
Like, I hope they don't bury him in Florida. I really hope that it's like, because I don't really want to go back to Florida, because like I've kind of got it in my head that I kind of want to take a big old steamer, like on his grave, man. Like just be like like a big fat shit. Take a big shit on him, man.
In one,
like this is what I think of you, bro. Like that I would come in public and like literally drop a deuce on your hallowed ground.
Oh no!
Oh yes. I think there's it could start a trend, man. Like there's weird stuff like that happens.
For real, no cap.
Yeah.
No cap, bro.
No cap.
Oh man. Yeah.
Man. What else we got? What's up on your mind?
I just think it's we could talk about, did you see Marjorie doing that disgraceful blow up on that UK reporter?
No.
Oh, you should look that up. That's pretty disgusting.
She is disgusting.
Oh god, dude. She's bad built for sure. She's a real Georgia peach. That's what she is. She's like a cool drink of sweet tea if it was laced with arsenic. She like the hillbilly Grinch, bro.
Oh boy, here we go.
Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary?
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
I don't see it.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and
There
your
we go.
reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
And you no. You should care about your own
Okay,
borders.
do you care
no,
about
no,
American
no.
lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care
I'm
about
not.
American lives being put at risk?
You know what? No, I don't care. I don't.
Service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your fake news. Do you have a relevant question? Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm an American, and I'd like to hear
your answer to what she's asking.
I'm not answering her question because I don't care about her network. If you would like to ask, I can answer.
Do you have any concerns whatsoever about the complete disregard
She's so
of
gross, dude. She's such a
top level of this administration?
I'm having to cover my
about
mouth to keep
complete
from gagging,
disregard
dude.
about operational security. You should talk about the Biden administration and how they ripped our borders open to terrorist, cartel, child sex trafficking, human trafficking, and drug trafficking across our borders for 4 years. The Trump administration is doing a great job,
is she a
and
man?
I stand by their statements.
Is she actually a
I
man?
stand by their statements.
I'm pretty sure she's
My
been
comment to you is
transvestigated.
I'm thankful to President
She looks like
Trump
she's taking
that he is
steroids.
leading us out
I don't know
of
if you've seen her
wars,
on the
that he's
fucking
ending the
pole.
war in
She's fucking
Ukraine.
doing like some Superman shit, like flying up and down, like doing pull-ups, like completely off the ground. Like, she's definitely strong. Like, I wouldn't want to. Phew, man, she scares me. No wonder Biden recoiled like he did.
Well, she looks like she'd start gnawing on your face if you like got scratched. Yeah.
I gotta give. She must have like hooked up with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, like makeup person or something. Because like, dude, that photo that you showed me the other day of like her and her old man, her boyfriend or whatever. Holy moly, dude! She looked like she got batted, like swatted, dude. Like for real. Like maybe it's because the light's so low. Like, see how dim it is. Like maybe she won't do pressers in really lit places because it shows their fucking face too much. And we're not making fun of her looks because she's disgusting on the outside, which she is, but she's disgusting on the inside. That's what she does. And she's like beyond the pale, dude. She's like one of the worst, you know what I mean? Just dehumanizes people. So fuck this woman.
Remember, this is the same dumb fucking bitch that before she was in Congress, she would go to the Capitol and follow people around and just
like David
nag the fuck out of everybody and just be like, just be a fucking asshole nuisance. Piece of shit.
She chased a kid around that had survived a fucking school shooting, and
or she'd go to the Capitol building to Congress people's offices and like yell through the little envelope thing,
the mail plate. Yeah.
Are you in there? I'm here to talk to you.
I'm here.
I'm here to talk to you. And but so someone's here to talk to her. And this is how she reacts. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Where American lives could have been killed if Joe Biden was still president today, whether he liked it or not. We're talking about NPR and PBS today. We're talking about fake news that was funded with federal funding.
You know what I mean?
Why are we even talking about the shit? Dude, you guys are the one in office, in power, doing the damn thing. We're talking about you. What are you even talking about?
From American taxpayers. That's what this is about today, not journalists from the UK that should care about
a journalist is being vilified for
their own country. You go to your own country. They're just discombobulated. She's like, whatever, I got my videos.
Man, it's just like...
It's just disgusting, dude. Like, how disgraceful, you know what I mean? Like, just how disgraceful, man. Like, and this is what people around the world are seeing, man. Like, they're seeing how far this country's like devolved into like a anarcho-fascist oligarchy, dude. Like, we're slowly descending into chaos, you know what I mean? It's hard not to be all doom and gloom when you see all this nonsense,
this shit.
Yeah. Like where we see like our once, great nation being like brought low, know?
Is she that frail and like she can't just like speak to a question? She can't hear a question and then just speak to it? She has to be like...
She was laughing. She was smiling the whole time like she was saying it. It's not like she really... Even if she probably does really mean it. because it's just easy racism right there. So go back to your country. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's just absolutely dumb, dude. We send journalists all over the world to get information and to ask world leaders and elected officials all over the fucking place, dude. That is not an argument. That is not like... Oh. It is just a way to shut down
discussion. Yep.
That's it.
What are you, damn intellectual? You one of them rabble rousers? What'd you go to a college? You got indoctrinated? I bet you got the jab too. Yeah. I mean, he fascinated the morons with his bullshit, dude. They were like, "Ooh, this guy's so cool. He gets it." And like he even like started the whole thing like with the show The Apprentice. Cuz the whole thing of the show was like he was the big daddy boss guy, I'm a really good businessman. It was all a show, it was like they had to do it in like they were going to do it in Trump Tower, but it was so shabby and run down and shit. They're like, yeah, well, we'll make him like a little sound design thing, someone to walk around and clean his diapers. Yep. So yeah, Tulsi Gabbard, all those people in those hearings, I watched quite a bit of it. That was pretty disgusting.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was clear from Tulsi's testimony or whatever you want to call it. They all know that they are fucked with this one. This one was no good for them. They can't say nothing about Biden. They can't. This has nothing to do. How in
the world could they put it on Biden, dude?
I heard somebody.
How in the world?
But it's like Tim Miller says, dude. You're out there talking about this journalist getting on there. I don't know. I'm not.
He didn't hack his way into the signal thing. Yeah. He was invited. You can't put any blame on that fucking guy. It's just beyond belief.
I'm just not even.
He got caught. They got caught, man. And then they were like, they even banked on the journalists having like some sort of scruples that they don't have, and being like, oh, he won't release the classified shit, so we'll bluff and say there was no classified stuff on there. And they all came out and said that. Tulsi said it. Raffles, whatever his name, Ratburger. I don't care. Whatever his it doesn't matter. Fucking Rat Boy, fucking Little Marco, all these other fucking Hegseth. They were all on there, dude. All doing it. They all knew. They all went out there and said the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing was confidential, and then old boy literally was like, all right, bet. Boom. Release. He's like, you want to say it's not fucking confidential? Blam. I mean, it was like he baited them. He baited them. He baited them, dude. And they fucking they bet hard, and they were like, oh, he won't release it. You know what I'm saying? They like banked on his scruples.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, fuck you. You're over here saying I'm a hack and I'm a fucking con artist and all this other bullshit. Why the fuck? I don't have no allegiance to you. Fuck you. I got the receipts, homie. Boom. Drop them shits.
And I don't know, man. The more I think about it, too, and I'm not, like, trying to be conspiracy or whatever, but, like, I'm not even necessarily convinced. Like, I understand that it was Walz that invited him. But, like, I don't know, Waltz, man. Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, we all make mistakes, but, like, how... Surely within the Signal domain, or like app platform, there are thousands of phone numbers. There's probably thousands of people with the initials JG. How do you get this specific person in here, into it? Like, how did he, out of all the people that could be invited, he get invited? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, they think that this was a guy that Mike would eventually leak to, is what a lot of the speculation is. I mean, it's just speculation, but why else would he have him as a contact if this is not your friend? If this is not a person you apparently have no idea, you don't know this guy, but he's in your phone.
Is it possible that it was intentional?
Yeah, it could be.
Like, I guess what I'm saying is like, if I was the Kremlin or if I was Putin, I would want something like this to go down because it causes lots of chaos, dude. It causes lots of instability. It causes a lot of shit to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily remove Trump from power. It doesn't necessarily fuck up sort of...
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't see how Putin, like, he wants Trump. He wants Trump. I mean, he's clowning on Trump. So I don't know about that, but I was seeing it more like this is Mike Waltz's way of being a whistleblower without being a whistleblower. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, look, because we don't know nobody knows what's going on behind the fucking scenes.
Sure.
Nobody knows the chaos and the craziness, like, obviously it's wild because they're doing fucking, strike packages and shit on a fucking, commercial app, dude. And then, so it's like, we've already got all this crazy shit that's like, I don't want to hear no more shit about Hillary's fucking emails, dude. Like, that was like a secure network. Like, this is not fucking secure, dude. And like, there was no, like, I don't know. It's a shitty comparison because people don't remember the specifics, even though there was hours and hours of fucking testimony by Hillary Clinton herself about the thing. It's like, will we even get more than just this hearing? Are we actually going to see anybody any heads roll? Like,
no. Nobody's gonna. If anything, it'll be this Waltz character, but I don't know. They had him on Fox News the other night. Baby, trying to like
doubles, triples down though. I doubt he fucking fires the guy. Everybody makes a mistake.
But I guess that's why I don't think that this Waltz is like some whistleblower. It's like, if anything, I feel like, I don't know, man. To me, it just seems. I know we could take the Occam razors approach or like the saying like don't how's it go, like don't
the simplest solution is usually
or like don't prescribe malice where there was incompetence or something like that. The phrase, something like that.
I know what you're talking about.
But I don't know, man. It just seems like weird. There was a guy, Witkoff was in Russia at the time. All I'm saying is like, I don't think, at the end of the day, I don't think Trump is going to take the blame and the fall for it. If anything, this Waltz guy is going to get fucking let go, and then it'll all just be like,
well, they're all, I mean, I hear you, but honestly, dude, it doesn't matter about Tim Walz starting. That's almost minor. Because each one of them accepted it.
Yeah, for sure.
They were conversed in it. Like, all of that shit's illegal.
Yeah.
It's illegal. It's plain and simple, cut and dry. Boom. Yeah. That's it. You fucking were in there, you were talking about confidential shit in an unsecured fucking commercial app that is super fucking against, that's super illegal. Super fucking illegal. I gotta keep my voice down. Sorry. But yeah, that's like they can't be doing that, dude. They should have been in the skiff, and they probably just did it because they're lazy, dude. They probably didn't want to go to the fucking proper place and do it the proper way. You know what I mean? Oh, we'll have to take our fucking car and go to the physical place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's how much they just don't give a shit. They just don't care. They think nothing applies to them. That's why they don't even, they're giving all these stupid ass answers because like they just don't care. They think nothing's gonna happen. And they might be right. I don't fucking know.
Well, yeah.
Probably nothing will happen. What do they get grilled on the fucking Congress grilled us for a couple hours. Yeah, we had to sit there and like look stupid a little bit.
Like what? Cash. Cash ain't gonna do nothing.
I wasn't in on it. Blah blah blah. Here,
Pam Bondi ain't gonna do nothing. Fucking. Yeah.
No, man. I mean, he's pretty much wrapped up. He's wrapped up the government, man. I mean, like he's getting the vets out. He's getting most, firing almost everybody. Thanks, Chuck. You stupid schmuck.
Yeah.
Right now, the airways could be fucking dominated with government. Day 5 of government. Government shutdown. The Republicans. Democrats really, playing hardball will not open until these people get their jobs back. And
until Musk testifies.
Right. Well, just a whole bunch of shit.
All kinds of shit. Yeah.
They could have asked for a bunch of. I guess not now. Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks, Chucky.
You fucking the worst politician ever, dude. The worst politician in the world, dude.
What's his name say? Political punk.
Chuck Schumer. Hey, we're just gonna do it. Right, yeah, fucking political punk, dude.
Yeah,
with the fucking echo. Yeah. Yeah, I like that guy. Yeah, I don't agree with all of his takes, but you know what? You're not going to agree with everybody's fucking takes 100% of the time. But like, we're all part of the network. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to be like, oh, those two, about us. They'll be like, these two brothers, they don't know shit.
Yep.
Whatever, that's your opinion. We're just sharing our opinion. Like, we're not trying to say like we're fucking national security experts, but like we're common sense experts. We can understand like common sense. We know like what's right and what's wrong. That goes a long ways.
Well, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we're a couple like just working class fucking dudes that just like pay attention to politics, and we comment on it, and we have opinions, and we're gonna fucking talk about them, dude. We're gonna throw it out there if you like what we say. If not, let's talk about it. I mean, if not, then fuck off. If you're a Nazi, fuck off.
But you know what? Here real soon, we've kind of been setting up our Discord. The link is in our description. You can go check out our Discord. But soon, we'd really like to have people call in. We'll do lives and have people call in.
Mm-hmm.
Or, maybe we'll record stuff off, if, we see you in the Discord, pop in and say hi or whatever, and maybe we'll have a little discussion and use it as a clip. Whatever.
Yeah, we
want to hear from you, maybe. Maybe.
Or if there's something you disagree with us on, call in. Let's have a debate.
Yeah,
let's have a discussion. Do I have a second? I don't care, man. Like I'll talk.
No, I was just joking about. Yeah, we'll talk to everybody for sure.
We've had a couple new subscribers as of late. Still a small channel. Still trying to get our foothold.
Yeah, and if you like it, just feel free to share our videos with whoever. Like, we know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but if you know someone that's like pissed off and needing an outlet where other people are feeling the same way and like trying to figure out like how do we fucking fight back in this ridiculous timeline we're living in. Like, join us, we'll join you. We all need each other more than ever. So I think we're gonna go ahead and leave it here for tonight because you know what, my wife is trying to sleep. She's a beautiful woman. She needs a beauty rest. And Dan, I bet, has been up since early, and he's got 2 little youngins that are hella full of energy. And
but we're gonna keep, we had to hop on. It's been a while, trying to keep it real, get some shit out there for you guys. So
we actually did a couple of videos, but they had a raft of technical issues. So we're really sorry. But yeah, like we had almost like an hour and a half last video.
Yeah,
maybe, but it, half of it was like the audio was chopping and clipping. But here in the very near future, we're gonna basically build a studio.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have our own studio. We might get rid of the green screen and have like a real,
just a little background
setup,
studio scene going on. So it'll be cool.
So
it'll be a while yet, but we're gonna get on it. So
expansion in the future, but like right now, we just need to grow our subs and let us know in the comments down below if you disagree with us, if you agree. We've gotten a lot of really good comments lately. We see you.
Yep.
We see you and we enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoyed reading them.
Yeah, let us know.
Send more. We wanna talk more. So, all right, guys.
Give us a like, subscribe. You know the deal. Peace.
Peace.